Hey everybody, we're live on, I think, the final edition of this Road to the Derby with, the Santa Anita Derby today. I'm Alexa Zepp from the Daily Racing Forum, joined by two familiar, awesome hosts, Dan Tordjman from America's Best Racing and Ryan Anderson. So, guys, good to have you back.
Do you know what I just realized, Alexa?
What?
I realized that the first thing I do when we go live every time is that I go to, I hit retweet, I do this. But since I've rigged up this system here and I'm now live on my phone from my house, I can't retweet anything. I can't share anything. So you guys please do that.
I will do it. It won't be from America's Best Racing, but it'll be from me.
Good.
I already retweeted it, so I'm on it.
He's on top of things. Okay.
On top of it. The other thing I also realized that I'm not at Gulfstream anymore, so I should probably change that.
Gulfstream? Oh.
We're really well prepared for this show. Santa Anita Derby. Let's do this. Just show people something that maybe they'll get excited about. That. Horses, numbers, money, all that good stuff. You guys, I want to thank you, Alex and Ryan. You both have tickets, which is great. You've got tickets coming up. Pick 5 starts here in race 8. Pick 3. Talk to me.
Yeah, we've got tickets. And last week my ticket hit. So we're going to try to do this again. But Ryan, you go first.
Yeah, no, I played a pick 5 here. I went pretty deep. I didn't have any strong opinions in this race. So I went 6 deep. I used the 2, the 3, the 7, 8, 10, and 12. I have some stronger opinions a little bit later. I'll have a single in race 11 that I feel really nice about at a nice price, Miss Roberts, for Jeff Mullins and Hector Barrios. So whole goal is to get alive. I spread in the Santa Anita Derby. I don't know the tactics of that race. It could go any one of a number of directions. All those horses kind of want to be in the same place. Citizen Bull's gotten away with a lot of easy leads, so I think he's vulnerable. Journalism is obviously an amazing horse, but doesn't have to fire his best effort. Baffert loves Barnes, and then Beza being a half to Dornoch and Mage, 2 classic winners of the past 2 years. I didn't want to leave that horse off, who's progressed really nicely for John Sheriff. So all that, and then in the last race, fading the favorites in there as well. So $72 ticket, but it should pay pretty nice if I'm able to get all this home.
Ryan, when I looked at your ticket, the one thing that stood out, well, 2 things. One is that you went a little thinner in the second leg, race 9, which I thought was a really tough race, even though I've got a long shot I like. We'll talk about it. I texted Alexa about it before we started the stream. And the other thing was that you took 4 out of 5 in the Santa Anita Derby, which when I looked at that race, I was like, all right, this is it's a 5-horse race, right? So like how hard could this be? I also struggled with it because there are 30 different ways I can envision this 5-horse race playing out.
Yeah, it could go any number of directions. Westwood could press Citizen Bull. Barnes could be sent to the lead. Any number of things could happen. So I just wanted to cover those 4 bases. I don't think the number 3 Westwood, I don't think that horse has much of a chance. I think that horse is entered to help Beza get the right amount of points, as they're both trained by John Sheriff. So I'm hoping Beza can surprise at I'm hoping it's going to be at least around that morning line of 6-1. Would be pretty nice in a 5-horse field. But yeah, I was with you. I could not make heads or tails of that race and how it was going to be run. I had some stronger opinions. I wanted to get through that race and just kind of keep it moving. I'm skinnier in that second leg. I like Uncle Chili, and I think Private Gem is just the horse to beat off that last effort. Came off the bench for Mark Glatt, and just second off the bench, Mark Glatt's even better, 40%. With over a 230 ROI, which is really strong. So wanted to use Private Gem, and then the 4 Uncle Chili really took a step up getting to turf last time out for Mike Pipey. So wanted to use both of those. I felt pretty good, like I could lock up there. This first race, no idea. Completely wide open.
Yeah. And Alexa, you on the other hand, you went a little deeper in that second leg, and then once it came to the Santa Anita Derby, you've got a clear opinion.
Well, I don't know if I have a clear opinion. I made a choice. I felt very similar to you guys, where I was like, all right, we're going to just bust through this race. It's going to be, light work. And then I was like, oh my God, this is really competitive race. But from a value standpoint, since it's going to be a bunch of competitive chalk, in my opinion, I was like, and these earlier races are also really competitive, but I think a really good chance for some value to happen. I was like, I need to pick one and be okay with my choices, because I just didn't want to play a pick 3 that was going to cost, double or triple this, where there's a likelihood that it chalks out and you win the ticket, but you lose money. So I landed on journalism. I singled journalism. I just think he was super dominant. And it's got a bunch of maintenance works in, and with 2 speedy horses signed on, I just think he's going to get a really nice trip in here. So I singled journalism in last. But yeah, these other ones are like really fun. I mean, it was. I think I was actually handicapping them with a friend who's going to join us later on the stream actually, and we were talking through the races, and 2 races, and then like 2 hours passed, and I'm like, we just spent 2 hours on 2 races, but it's because there's just so much in this race, and so many ways it could happen. But let's see, for this one, I really like the 2 Western Freedom. Been out once on the lead, got passed, had a bunch of more workouts into him since then. So, hopefully he's really tightened up for today. And I think the morning line of 5-1 was really generous on him. It looks like he's sitting at 4-1 now. So still pretty decent. I think we should improve after that first out. I used the 7 Beer Buzz. Fun name, but also really good. Dan's bringing in the beer. All right, I've got.
What are you drinking, Ryan?
I got something harder. It's vodka and sparkling water.
You're a sick person.
I ran out of beer. This is 3:30 in the afternoon.
Jesus, what kind of vodka are you drinking?
I actually don't even know the name of the bottle that I have.
That's never a good sign.
That was in there. It's not. I forgot what it was. It was left at our place as a gift from a Christmas party we had. So
Ryan, we are paying you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So come on.
I mean, why do I need to go buy a whole? I mean, vodka's vodka for the most part.
Alexa, you drinking Diet Coke? Is that what I saw? What the hell's wrong with you?
I came unprepared. I've got a whole bar out there. I should go grab a bottle and pour some in this Diet Coke, but I didn't come prepared. I have Diet Coke and Girl Scout cookies.
That's amazing. Which ones are those? I can't really see from here.
What a day.
These are the trefoils.
What do we make it though? Like, what is the best Girl Scout cookie? It's clearly those like coconutty ones, right?
It's the Samoas, yeah. The Samoas are by far the best. It's not even a competition.
I don't like coconut flavor stuff.
Well,
like I'll eat a coconut on the beach, like I'll love a coconut water and that coconut meat, but no, I like these, and I don't like shortbread cookies. But to me, these don't taste like shortbread. I know they're shortbread cookies, but they don't taste like shortbread cookies to me.
Put those up to the camera for a second. We're gonna zoom in here a little bit just to get a better sense of what. Oh yeah, we know those. I actually just ate those this week somehow.
Wait, and if you want like an actual real time photo, there you go.
Well, that actually looks good. All right. No, I feel like you need to dip that in something like Nutella or peanut butter or something else.
Honestly, Nutella would be pretty fire.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie. But no, I have an embarrassing amount of boxes of Girl Scout cookies in my cupboard. Like there's like 12. But all different ones. They have those caramel brownie ones now too.
Oh, they do. I haven't tried those.
Pretty yet. Fire. Those are pretty fire.
Those are on my list of.
We're almost entirely off track. We've like almost entirely lost the plot here.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you thought we lost the plot, how about Micah? Do we know who this is? He's rooting for Seabiscuit. All right.
I mean,
only about 90 years too late. I don't even know what year it is currently, so I couldn't tell you.
He's at the bar. That's why. See?
Oh, is that what he's doing?
He says he's making my bet at the bar, and he's betting on Seabiscuit. So.
Oh, good.
We're rooting for you.
I didn't think so. I didn't handicap this race with odds, but I assumed Barnes would be the second choice, right? Or am I missing something?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a longer shot than journalism.
Barnes is morning line 3-1. Citizen Bowl is 9-5. Journalism 6-5. So technically third favorite, but I just kind of doubt the odds will shake out like that. I don't know, because Citizen Bull doesn't need the points, and I know Baffert doesn't necessarily operate that way, but I think he might operate that way today, considering,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we've got to talk more about that. We really do, because
Yeah.
We
there's
do.
like a whole, there's all these, there's a bunch of different plotting that's probably going on in the background
A
here.
ton.
I think this is a pick for this race. I think the 10 at 18-1. So keep those long shots coming in. Waiting for the big race. Santa Anita Derby. Thanks for connecting me on Facebook. You got it. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for watching. Neil, what's up? How you doing? Vicky's joining, and Mike Smith. I think she's referencing Mike Smith winning in New York just now
Yep.
on Rodriguez. So Mike Smith going to probably be in the Derby now with Rodriguez. What time? This is for the Santa Anita Derby, I would imagine. That would be what, 7:40 or so Eastern,
Around there, yes.
4:40 Pacific, right?
Yep.
All right. So, all right, but that's that. We've touched on this race a little bit. Do we want to kind of just go through it one more time in like a somewhat organized, professional way?
Yeah.
Who would like to take up that task?
I'll go first.
You go.
Oh,
we had
all right.
We had no takers originally, but now, yeah, okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, for this race, state bred 6 furlongs on the dirt. My top pick in here is the number 10 Fix It Quick. I mentioned that I spread pretty deep in the pick 5, but Mike Pipey has really strong numbers going turf to dirt and and also going route to sprint. Sorry, a lot of words to throw in
Turf
there.
to
That's that off-brand vodka, man.
It is. It's that off-brand vodka getting to me. But no, with this movie's really strong. Obviously, KK aboard doesn't hurt. I love that Kazushi Kimura is back. He's healthy and he's riding well. So 18-1 is a very fair shot in my opinion. The 7 I think is a little vulnerable. Craig Delassie's not super strong, putting the blinkers on in these second time starting maidens on turf or dirt or whatever surface you want to run on. So I'm trying to fade that favorite. I know I used him in the pick 5, but that's mainly because I'm pressing up some opinions elsewhere. So on top for number 10, Fix It Quick, and then number 12, I thought deserved a bit of a look as well. Gemini Buzz for Ryan Hansen's second time out.
That's one I like because I'm a Gemini too, baby. And I was like, this is my horse. But then I looked at the horse. I really did like it. So Gemini Buzz ran a pretty decent race first time out, same distance. But now they're switching to dirt, which seems kind of interesting to me. I'd probably would have liked to see him run on turf again. But pedigree-wise, he could go either way between the dirt and the turf. So I do like they're adding blinkers for the first time. He kind of veered in last time. So I think they're going to try to help him focus. So I really like him at those odds. 14-1 is crazy. Morning line was 8-1. So I love seeing that tick up there. I already talked about my other 2 top selections in here, which was Western Freedom, the number 2, and the 7, Beer Buzz. But I hate those odds, that 1-1. I have them in the pick 3. I'll keep them in the pick 3. But I actually think I had a stat for trainer Craig Delassie as a positive, as he's 25% for maiden second starts. I don't know. I didn't look at the stats with adding the blinkers, so I think you saw it as a negative, or I saw it kind of as a positive, Ryan. But those are my top 3, and then the other one I included in here was the 8 non-domicile, who's one of the more expensive purchases. I spent $125,000 on him. The stud fee for that horse was only $5,000. So that's usually the sale price kind of relates to the stud fee. And this, it did not. So he must have looked really, really good. And his sire promises fulfilled. Progeny wins at 21% of the time in dirt sprints. So that's a really good start, or a really good stat. So I think he makes sense to use in here. And
I was sorry, I was going to say, Alexa, as we're talking about that horse real quick, is that the horse was 7-2 morning line is 8-1. I mean, that's got to be telling you something.
I mean, when I see that, I'm happy. I'm like, I like something. I never have a horse going off longer than what in the morning line is as a negative. For me, I'm like, yay, I might have found an opinion that other people don't see and get paid more for it. But that's just
your pick 3 right here. You got 2, 7, 8, 12. Ryan's also taking a stab at the pick 5. He's got The same numbers, plus the 3 and the 10 here. I love that 10 at that big price. My picks, real quick, I had Western Freedom on top. I also have 12 Gemini Buzz. I thought Horizon Wildcat had a shot. Last out had some excuses. We'll see what happens here. Trying the new surface. And Beer Buzz is logical. Super long shot for me would be the 4 horse. I didn't even see what the horse odds were. Silver I Am, I thought was one who had a long shot look. So
I could get behind that. The only thing is, like, this horse has 0 turf pedigree, so I do think switching to the dirt makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And a first time gelding. So
let's see if there's any comments. By the way, I know my dad is in the comments, and if you missed the open, I'll just tell him, if you're watching, bet the numbers that I just mentioned, because I can't bet. My phone is on me. My computer is showing the race. I'm out of luck. So
that's the worst.
He was our first comment. He said, "Overdue for a winner."
Yep. That makes sense. That sounds like a Tordjman.
Yeah.
All right, here we go with the sound. First leg of the late pick 5, Santa Anita Derby Day.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Clean start and a very fast one for Far Overloaded, who is immediately headed by several, including Western Freedom, who comes through. And there's the favorite, Beer Buzz. And Beer Buzz, with those blinkers, is in front as they run down the back stretch. Drop the Bit is racing in between horses. Down at the rail, Western Freedom now third. Far Overloaded is fourth. They are followed by Gemini Buzz. Horizon Wildcat is widest of all. Silver I Am and Outworker follow that group. Then Keating Thunder on the inside of Fix It Quick, passing a few rivals around the far turn. A gap of 4 to Falcon Wings, and Non-Domicile is the trailer. Midway on the far turn, Beer Buzz the leader. Horizon Wildcat is a half length back in second. It's 2 more to Western Freedom, angling out for the drive in third, and Fix It Quick continues to make headway there at the top of the stretch. And Beer
coming
Buzz
way wide,
has
but come on.
lead with a furlong left to go.
Come on,
Outworker coming fast, and on the outside, Western Freedom. Western Freedom has blown by Beer Buzz at the 16th pole. Back-to-back wins for Legacy Ranch. Western Freedom opens up with authority. Beer Buzz second. Outworker third. Fix It Quick was fourth.
I could have singled a leg.
I think we were pretty much all over that, right? I mean,
we were.
That was my top selection in the race. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, same. That was I was 2 was my top pick as well. And then I think the 10 ran on nicely for Ryan, right? Did he finish third, fourth?
Finished fourth, I think, fourth. But hey, that works. Yeah. Beat the favorite. I'm all good with that.
I was really
second choice.
Scared of your 10. I would have cheered for you, but
10 came on pretty strong. But flattened down a little bit.
Yeah.
And for anybody watching who just made money on that, Alexa needs more Girl Scout cookies, and Ryan needs actual vodka. So you know how to support us. And I need actual technology so that I'm not doing this.
We're all missing something. We're all in need of something.
I'll tell you one person who doesn't need anything at all. It's going to be our next guest. He's in the green room. He's got the earbuds in, and he never has tech issues because he is a tech guy. JD? Oh, you got a bar over your face. Let me take that off. JD, do you hear us?
Yeah, I was waiting for I mean, it looks like I'm saying some really naughty things and you're having to just cover up my mouth. But I was able on all of my tickets to get rid of the 7 as I didn't like the even money there, and I'm glad I did. So
nice. Some
last second canceling and throwing the 7 off tickets worked well there for Western Freedom getting in the winner's circle. But Dan, it's very weird for me to be on a show for ABR where I have no control over anything.
It's the best way to be, honestly. You don't want any part of this chaos that's going on right now. You would be so disappointed in what I have here. I have let me just show you this. This is something I tried rigging up before the show because I didn't have enough light. And then I just ended up look, now this is breaking. I disconnected. This is terrible. I can't.
Well, you have one of those selfie stick cam lights that you put your phone in. Oh, look at that.
Somebody full screen me. Look at this. This is pathetic.
That's gaff tape. and a prayer. That's painter's tape. That's not even gaff tape. That's just straight painter's tape.
And it's all disconnected now anyway. So anyway, how you been, JD?
Been doing well, and obviously, big day in racing was going to be a bigger day, but now we have like this extended Keeneland week after we get done with the racing here today and tomorrow, and Keeneland opening days tomorrow as well. So we get through today, then we get Keeneland for a week. How can that possibly be bad, Dan?
Well, I mean, it means instead of a normal weekend of just betting for a couple of days, now betting like 6 straight days. So that could be an issue.
Well, I had to pull the championship Dubai World Cup double, so I'm running on like 5 hours of sleep, Dan. So
I saw you posting like Australia picks last night. I'm like, this dude needs help.
It's been a big 36 hours. I was right with you, JD. I was up watching all of Randwick last night.
Wait, but are you going to do the back and play Hong Kong tonight? Is the question.
Absolutely. Why would I not?
You two are sick. Do you guys know each other? Have you met before?
I have not. Pleasure to meet
You
you.
should really stay away from each other, honestly.
It's
This is not
dangerous.
good. Alexa, what were we thinking?
I don't know. We can honestly just get off. Like they can take the rest of this.
We'll take you up to Hong Kong race 1.
Yeah.
Like
We got
tripod
some
to collapse
straight
anyway.
hardcore diehards right here.
Oh my god.
But I mean,
All right. Well, good
it.
call here. This was like, I mean, these were the horses we picked, so that's good. I'm not seeing anyone offering to send us any, any cookies or vodka. So I'm gonna assume they didn't hit,
Or
at
electronics.
least we can play about it. Yeah, or electronics exactly.
I've got a whole bunch of electronics you can take out of my house, Dan. Please, for the love of God.
I know it.
My light this week started like flickering. And it's just kind of like you can't tell on the screen. But it's like quivering and it's like strobing me out. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a club, but I'm not. I'm just.
It looks good. I don't see it. There's actually your lights are flickering. Like
it's it's like a constant like. Yeah, it's like.
Is that safe? Should we like check?
No,
on that?
it's definitely not. But we're gonna roll with it. If
right.
I seize out, then y'all know it's the light.
Light.
Vicky's asking who won, if journalism won. Vicky, we're not quite there yet. So that race goes off at 7:45-ish Eastern time. So we got a little bit of time before that. There's one more race in between that we'll be talking about. Race 9 coming up in 25 minutes. And then the Derby is race 10. So got a little bit longer to hang out with us.
This is our, in terms of like us being live, this next race is probably the better betting race. Although, actually, before we even talk about this race, we've jumped around a little bit. But JD, we were talking about like the Santa Anita Derby being a 5-horse race, but still being sort of a bit of a complex puzzle, at least for us. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a complex puzzle in that you've got a Baffert horse that needs to get into the Derby field who runs the exact same style as the Baffert horse who's in this race who's already in the field. I mean, Citizen Bull and Barnes want to run the exact same race. So what are you going to do there? You obviously have a situation as well if you want to take it one step further. I mean, Zaydan Racing Stables owning Barnes, they were one of the heavy backers for Baffert again in his quest to remedy the situation in Louisville. So you want to see, obviously, I don't want to say it's a feel-good story, but it's a case of like, hey, they bought a big horse, brought him back to Baffert. Like, for Baffert's sake, it would be good if Barnes made the field. But, you got JJ Hernandez aboard, going to have to figure out a trip. And I was at the Big Cap, so I saw journalism chase down Barnes. And I think journalism can do it again. What I was shocked about, guys, was when the morning line came out. I was actually surprised journalism was the morning line favorite over Citizen Bull.
I think it had a lot to do with that 108 buyer last time out, if I had to guess. Citizen Bull is also, I don't know, I'm trying to be really against that horse. I don't know how the betting, it's going to be a huge jockey's race, in my opinion, with that 5-horse field. And I'm with you. Barnes and Citizen Bull both want to run the exact same race.
Does it make sense? I mean, I think what makes the most sense to me is that Barnes is the horse that's sent, right? Let's not forget, I mean, that race, first race around 2 turns, 3rd career race for Barnes. It's not like he didn't have some excuse to get a little tired late. I'm thinking Barnes goes to the lead, and they sit Citizen Bull just off just to have him try something new, right? To see if he can sit off a horse and run that horse down. That's what I'm thinking, at least in terms of those two. Are we thinking that's the most likely scenario?
I think so, but also it's just a 5-horse field, so it's even those tactics aren't as extreme as this was a 12-horse field. I mean, even with those tactics, you're probably not going to see them lose too much touch from the rest of the runners in the field just based on jockey dynamics in a small field. So, and
But
horses wanting to run together. But
if that happens, what I'm saying, I mean, that significantly benefits Barnes, right? Like, Barnes could win that race. Like, I can see Barnes winning that race.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I'm looking for somebody else other than me to respond to this. I'm just going to open a beer.
I think Barnes, if I was, so I single journalism on my ticket, but if I was going to put one more in there, it would have been Barnes. I mean, I think Barnes is a big threat. And so to give like viewers context around what this exactly means for the Derby coming up. So there were 5 chances left before this weekend to get points to get your spot in the field for the Kentucky Derby. 4 of those races were this weekend / now this week because of Keeneland moving. So this really is like your last shot to do it, especially on the West Coast. And so in this 5-horse field, you have Journalism, who currently has 47.5 points. So already going to be in the Derby, like enough points already. You have Citizen Bull, who's sitting in 9th place with 60 points. So already going to the Derby, not a problem. And then you have these other 3 who don't have the points. So Barnes has, let me find him on the board here, get it right.
He's like 27th or 28th, yeah.
18.75 points. So, and you need around 40 to get in. So like he really does need to do well in here while these other ones don't. But then again, there's still purse money to be won here. It's a $500,000 purse for the Derby, but yeah, I think Barnes, they're going to try to win with that horse over trying to win with Citizen Bull is what I think is the most likely tactic here.
I agree. I think they're.
Go ahead,
I was going to say, I think Barnes is going to fire, an A effort where Citizen Bull maybe like a B plus, just because Bull already has the points to get in. Journalism already has the points to get in. And I think Barnes is it's make or break right now. They obviously want to get the horse in the Derby, but this horse is going to need to be pretty close to 100%, if not at 100%, to contend with the likes of Journalism and Citizen Bull. And this horse needs to finish first to get in with the reduced point total, with there only being 5 horses in this field.
Yeah, and they spent $3.2 million on Barnes at the sales. So, from like a owner perspective, when you're thinking about like, okay, this is their superstar or their hopeful superstar, they really want this race.
And not just the money spent on him. Going into San Felipe weekend, Vegas odds, like any odds maker, had Barnes as the Kentucky Derby favorite at that point, even though he didn't have the points, right? Like, it's like Barnes is the best 3-year-old. It's known he's going to be the best 3-year-old. And then, he just gives it up late to Journalism. And then the world forgets about him. But he was the horse.
This horse took money before this horse was named. Like he was in the first Derby future pool as an unnamed horse off of one workout. He was, I forget the odds, but it might have been close to single digits, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12-1 or something. But took that much money in pool 1. So it was it's clear that everybody has always been high on Barnes. I think the Baffert barn is no exception. Obviously they shipped him to Churchill, and he was the first runner Baffert had out at the Churchill Downs track in however many years, and they ship him back, and he's progressed nicely. But I think more than anything, there's the kind of emotional attachment to it. I think Barnes is who everybody in that camp probably wants in the starting gates the most.
Yeah, and then you think about Baeza, the 5. So this horse, I feel like, is another, just more like an interesting story than a realistic threat in this race. But so they spent a bunch of money on this horse too, over $1 million, $1.2 million. And that's because he's out of the mare Puka, who birthed Mage, which is the 2023 Kentucky Derby winner. And then also her next foal was Dornock, who we've talked about a lot on here, owned by Major League Baseball all-star player Jason Worth, and ran in the Derby last year, didn't win, but then won the Belmont second leg of the Triple Crown and the Grade 1 Haskell. So like this horse has huge footsteps to follow. And so I think they're obviously trying to see if he can do that. I don't think he can. I don't think he's as good. I don't think he's gonna.
It's a big test, but I could see it only for the fact that there's truly only one other horse outside of Baeza that needs the points to get in the Derby. So if we're in a situation where, Sheriff's has progressed Baeza along really well, has improved dramatically in all three of his starts to this point. I feel like maybe if Baeza, also kind of similar to Barnes, is cranked up to like 100% effort, it's a big ask going from breaking your maiden right into the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby. But John Sheriff's is pretty conservative as a trainer, so if he's putting him in this spot, Baeza is probably ready for it. I wouldn't be surprised to see a really big shot here. And I think second place is only 38.5 points. So Baeza really needs to win to get a spot in the gate.
Yeah, and that's essentially, the story for both the 3 and the 5, same ownership group, CRK stable. They need a win, and that's the key point. We've talked about it. We haven't talked about the actual points with the deduction with the 5-horse field. 37.5 points for second place. That's not going to get the 3 or the 5 in this race. So we talked about the pace dynamic. Like, do we see the 3 or the 5 just doing something crazy because it's their shot to get in the field? They need to win.
I almost think I would imagine for CRK, if I had these two horses in the race, I'm going to think higher of Baeza just because of the breeding, being out of McKenzie and then out of Puka is on the dam side. I know Westwood doesn't look all that fast on paper, but maybe if he breaks really well, maybe they try and send him to kind of push the pace a little bit. I know Baeza has also been pretty close to the pace, so I'm really not sure what you do if I'm the John Sheriff's barn and I have those two runners, but I'd imagine with the 2 and having to face 2 Bafferts, both of which kind of want to be forward, and you're between them, you got to make it a little uncomfortable for them.
I think Westwood was a filler for this race, most likely, because we've talked about since there's only 5 horses, there's a point reduction. If there were to be 4 horses, there's another point reduction after that. So, I think they put Westwood in here to make sure that there's enough points if Baeza can win. I don't really think that Westwood is a competitor in here.
You guys both. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say, I don't think Westwood's a competitor either, but I think he can still be a thorn in the side if there was some real intention out of the gate. And I think that could help Baeza because he's going to need it coming from maiden into a group, into a Grade 1. He's going to need, all the assistance he can get. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say, like, both you and Alexa mentioned Puka. Like, that's crazy. Like, when you think about, like, that's just like, what is that? That's like womb of gold. Like what? Like how? Like
how mare.
Like how are we not celebrating Puka daily?
Right. Especially if Baeza goes out and does something silly and wins this race, and then that puts him in a prime position. That would be nuts.
Can you imagine having 3 foals in a row in the Derby?
Yeah.
Her next foal would be like. They spent $1.2 million on Baeza, but this was September of 2023 when
that was only Mage.
So that's before Dornock, right? So so that's just based off of Mage. Do we actually know?
Yeah, what's next? Coming?
Yeah, hold on, let me pull up on Dira if we have all you can drill down on the dams and the sires and see all their babies they've had. And so she's got,
it's like birth announcements.
It's not a birth announcement, but it's a list of all their babies.
It's a boy.
You mean you weren't invited to the shower, Dan?
Yeah, and she's had 3 boys in a row. I guess she had a girl before.
She still owes me money from finishing 12th in the Kentucky Oaks. I'm not bitter.
Drink. Speaking of, while Alexa's pulling all this up, JD, we're gonna zoom in on you. We're gonna do a solo layout so you could show us the beverage and give us a little voiceover.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, is that showing okay for you guys, or is it
We
flipped?
got it.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
All
A
right.
cat of some sort.
Yeah, it's a Big Cat. So this is a slushy style smoothie beer, and this is from 450 North Brewing in Columbus, Indiana. If you find yourself out at Horseshoe Indy, you take a 30-minute drive south, you can go to this brewery. They make all sorts of lacto-fermented sours, all sorts of fun. So it is very much a purplish, reddish hue. And the official, let's see, it is officially a grape lime and then grape and strawberry hard candy flavored beer.
Godspeed.
So cheers.
Yeah, a couple of observations as we're zoomed in on you, JD. Your hair looks beautiful. Your hair looks great.
Always cool for you, Dan.
Your hair looks great, and you know that your background. I don't know if that blanket's there for me too, or if that's always there. But
that might have been a plant, but it's there.
Thank you, JD. Appreciate it. Looking good, sounding good, and drinking well. I do see CS, by the way, has dropped a number of different messages here. I don't want CS to think we're ignoring, so I'm going to go back and show all of them because they're really good. The first one is a flex, and he knows that. He's telling us now he's redboarding. He's telling us he has 50 win place on Hit Show.
Why are you awake / here?
Yeah, you should be off partying already, but he's got another 50 win place on Barnes. So if you want to ride the hot hand, CS is your person. CS had another good one here. Oh, this one is good. I think this is really more response to our little hype up of Baeza or potential, talking about, hey, Baeza could run a good race. CS says no. And then trying to help the chat out, trying to give everyone money. He's saying journalism Barnes, $5 exacta. Or if you're CS.
So exactor, so he's Canadian.
He's
Canadian. I want to point this out.
He revealed himself. CS
that was important to point out.
So yeah, $5 active journalism Barnes. If you're wondering, that is 1-4. That's a 1-4 exacta box, and I think that's it. CS, drop some more stuff for us. We really like your comments. We appreciate it. Jesus, Barnes don't make the distance. Okay, so Barnes, he doesn't think we'll make the distance. I mean, look, logically, watching the San Felipe, he got tired late in that race. You could say, hey, going longer now, it would make sense that he's not going to make the distance. But as we pointed out earlier, that was his first time around 2 turns, and oftentimes, second
agrees
time,
too.
time, a little better. But Barnes is a sprinter. What do you guys think? It's more than that? You don't think he's making the distance either, JD?
Well, I'll just say this. I would take Barnes at 2-1 in the Pat Day Mile right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm right with you, JD.
Okay, so we don't have any, so we have a lot of anti-Barnes sentiment here, which we'll see if that plays out once the odds are live.
I just think he might be the best miler in this class, and he's stretching out because they need the Derby appeal luster around this horse. But I think 1 turn mile is what suits this horse.
I would tend to agree. I would say he's the second best miler in the country and the second best in the Baffert barn. I would like to see Cornucopian at the 1 turn mile after what he did in the Arkansas Derby, but him and Barnes could go head to head. They have so much natural speed and ability. I think the 1 turn mile, I think Pat Day Mile is exactly where one of them needs to be. Yeah, I'm with you. Off that last effort by Barnes, it didn't look like he wanted any part of that distance. He got swallowed up by journalism. I was joking around with you, Dan. I think he ran the worst 105 buyer I've ever seen out of that race. Yeah, I don't know that he wants the distance, but maybe he surprises second time routing today.
Alexa, Puka, Barnes.
Okay, Puka update. Okay, so so Puka Mage, her daddy was Good Magic.
Her daddy.
His daddy. Sorry.
His daddy.
Cormac's daddy, Good Magic. Then pivoted by Iza's McKinsey, and now she's in full again to Good Magic. Of course, they're gonna go and try to strike gold again. And it's a filly, I believe. She's carrying a filly, and yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now I want everyone to know that I asked ChatGPT this. So I asked ChatGPT who, if she was pregnant currently, and to who, and that's what it told me. So there's a possibility it's incorrect, but it's usually pretty right.
That is pretty wild.
If she throws a filly, what's the over under the auction price at $900,000?
Over.
This is a good game. I like this game. And a little bit of a
and then she's going to be bred to Frankel.
Wait, what about Frankel?
So Puka's going to be bred to Frankel on the southern hemisphere.
That's interesting.
That's what I'm reading here for 2025.
I mean, she threw everything, accomplished everything on the dirt. So why not try the turf?
That's, okay. But guys, we haven't talked about this race at all.
6 minutes to go. Alexa, why don't you kick us off?
All right, let's do it. So this race, another a tough one, in my opinion.
You got this. Come on.
No, I got it. I have guarantee that I have the winner in my top 4. But okay, my top selection in here is the favorite Private Gem. So this is for owners, Saints or Sinners. Shout out to Anna Marin, who is also in my female partnership, and the other half of Saints or Sinners Racing. They have a lot of great horses, a lot of winners. So they switched to turf last out. They did great. Won also as one on dirt. So our last win was against Open Company. So I think that makes a little bit of a classier selection in here. Has some tactical speed. They could probably handle however the pace scenario unfolds, which it looks like it could happen in a number of ways. And then Uncle Chili, which Ryan, I know you talked about Uncle Chili earlier, but the 4-horse who, let's see, another lower odds horse. That sucks. I hate all these low odds, but it's okay. Okay, Uncle Chili is sitting at 2.5 to 1. Switched to turf last out. Ran one of the best races of life. Closed for mid-pack. Got second, but won the race before that for being on the lead. So again, some tactical speed. And then Dan, I'm going to throw it to you on the 6 because that's another one I have in here, and I think the best long shot possibility in the race. And I think you said your top pick.
I do, yeah. I like that horse. I do want to. So we put up your picks here. So this was the pick 3 that you had the 2 in the first leg to kick off, by the way. And now we've got 4, 6, 8, 10 here. The rest of your pick 3. When Ryan goes, we'll show his pick 5 ticket so that you could, if you want to play the pick 4, you could, in case you missed out on the pick 5. But yeah, with this one, I think, I watched a couple of replays. He always seems to have excuses. I liked his race 2 back, specifically. He traveled wide, started making a move as they turned for home, but then he got floated really wide, as a lot of horses do, on that, in the downhill turf races as they cross over the dirt. But once he got going again, finished up really nicely visually. He had more pace in that race specifically to run into than he did in the last race, where he didn't really look like he fired as well. But I think if he gets the same pace set up here, while drawn a little closer to the inside, I think he could be tough. So it's just this is more of a visual play for me and a replay play for me. Mm-hmm. And if you're telling me I get 13 to 1 on a horse who isn't objectively any worse than any other horse in this race, I'm going to take a swing. So yeah, Chrome Flash for me, this would be a, to steal one from CS, this would be a 50 win place bet for me. Yeah. And
JD and I were actually watching that replay last night. And so when the horses crossed over the turf, the one that didn't handle it well was Where's the Loot in that race, which is the 9 in here. And so Where's the Loot?
Way too fast.
Yeah. And he ended up pushing everybody wide. So I think, the jockeys of, let's see, Chrome Flash and Piper's Causeway was in that. Was that the other one in that race?
Yep. The 6 and the 8 and also the 11 was in that race as well.
Yeah. So hopefully the jockeys can be wary of that this time, knowing Where's the Loot's probably going to go to the lead again and might not handle the cross over the dirt that well, and maybe steer a little bit clear of being right to the outside of that horse in case it, gets crazy again. But
I thought that horse, if he slows down a little bit, and we don't know, right? I mean, I hasn't really, has a couple of in the money finishes. I think Where's the Loot doesn't have to finish 7th like he did in that race. He could hit the board if he actually gets to the front and slows down a little bit. Ryan, let's go back to you. Put up your pick 5 ticket. So now you're looking at 410 here and beyond if you're playing the pick 4. But tell us a little bit more about how you saw this unfolding.
Yeah, it wasn't super creative. I know it's a really deep field, but I thought Uncle Chili last time out really stepped up. Moving to turf, jumped up the buyer speed figure 10 points to an 85. It was against State Bred, has to go, continues against State Bred here on the level up. Does Uncle Chili, comes from off the pace, which I like. I think there's a ton of pace signed on in this race going down the hill. Some of which the horses you guys just talked about. I want to add in the 7 Smiling Beast. I think the only way he goes switching dirt to turf is going straight to the front. So I think that helps to set it up for the 4. And the horse that I think is the best on talent is the number 10, your current favorite, Private Gem. Last time out, fired off the bench in a big way with an 82 speed figure for Mark Glatt off of almost an 18-month layoff there. And second off the bench for Mark Glatt, I mentioned a little earlier, he's hitting at 40% right now, which is video game numbers. So Private Gem coming down the hill 2-1 seems like decent value in terms of the horizontal wagers that I have going on. So 410 in here, and I'm just going to kind of lock up and move on. But good betting race if you like a price.
Oh yeah, Smiling Beast you mentioned, interesting, 9-1. I thought Smiling Beast would be a little shorter than that, so that's kind of interesting. Not taking as much action, which, as we know, Alexa loves to see that price float up. So I think Smiling Beast is not that far off of these. JD, you put together a pick 3 starting in this race.
Yeah, this is the turf pick 3, which start. So if you're using an ADW wagering site of your choice, this will be a separate card from the Santa Anita card. So look for Santa Anita turf pick 3. In this leg, I have 4, 8, 9, 10. To back kind of your thought, Dan, like the 9 completely blew the crossover. When we talk about the crossover here on the downhill turf course at Santa Anita, towards the end of the final turn, there is a crossover onto the dirt course. And basically what happened with the 9 last time was going too fast, kind of turned sideways, fouled a little bit, and then Kyle Frey went left-handed, and the horse went a little squirrely after that as well. So I think the experience over this course is one of the first things I looked at, and almost none of the horses in the field had experience over it. It was basically the 6, the 8, the 9, and the 11. If I remember off the top of my head here, that have run on the downhill turf course at Santa Anita. So it is a little bit of an interesting one in that you kind of come out of the gate, you make a little bit of a right-hand turn. It is a very unique course for North America. So a lot of these horses are trying it for the first time. On talent, the 4 and the 10 are above the rest of this field. But I do like the 8 and the 9 as some long shot plays because they have experienced it. I do think the 9 is going to be up front. I think the 8 is going to be sitting right behind. And if the 8 can set a better trip behind the 9, if Jesus Uranga can kind of stay out of the 9's way, I really think that effort last time was good enough to win. And the comeback effort at Los Alamitos going the 1,000 yards is very strong. And this is one of the top horses at Los Al in those sprints, and obviously this is going downhill, so you look at 6.5 furlongs. This really feels to those horses more like a 5.5 furlong race because of the downhill nature of it.
I'm with you on that 8 a little bit. I ended up being, and this is again for my dad. If you're watching, I cannot access my ADW right now. I've got too many things going on. If you want to bet my picks, 6, 8, 4, 10, 9 is where I landed in that order. In our family, the Tordjmans like to bet a lot of 5-horse trifectas and exactas sometimes. Please don't tell anyone that. And so those would be the 5 horses. Now, the good news is 2 of them, the 6 at 13-1, the 8 at 15-1, are big prices. The 9 is also a big price. But yeah, if I was trying to focus this a little bit, I think you could do like a 4-horse try box here. Feel comfortable with 4, 6, 8, 10 try box. That's the way I would go. You get Ryan and Alexa's 410. You get the 8 in there. You get a little. You get the 6. Another price that we all like, I think, or at least a couple of us like. Going to pull up Alexa's play real quick again. That's the pick 3, middle leg, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Did you feel real good about that turf pick 3? Because I'm betting it.
Fire.
So Shocking Gray, the 11 is my top choice in leg number 2, and in the finale we're singling Genius Jimmy, the 1 should be able to take the field wire to wire, going the mile.
All right, it's in.
Oh.
Except I didn't use your 9. I used the 6 instead on the first leg.
That's fine.
You still got to cheat. You still get the bets in, guys.
Oh, Ron, you got a half a second. Any final thoughts here?
I thought the 1 deserved a shot underneath.
Okay.
Underneath for Neil Drysdale. He's pretty good at this move off winners in turf sprints, somewhere around 45% in the money with maiden winners last out in those turf sprints. So I'll give him a look underneath. I like your pick of the 6 Chrome Flash. I think he finally gets enough pace to set it up for him here.
All right. Lay that on your ticket. Add the 1. Throw the 1 on. Come on. They're getting in the gate. They're almost there.
All right, can I get this try box in? Oh my god. I feel like I'm being you today, Dan.
Please, I encourage you.
Since you can't bet, I've
Oh wait, look at this. My dad did chime in. Look what he did.
what? 4, 6, 8, 9, 10.
He did the
box.
5 horses act the box.
I love that.
There it is.
Act the box. Let's go.
Okay. I didn't get my try in. That's okay.
Where's our sound? Do we have any sound?
Oh, it's just I muted it.
To vie for the early lead. Here's Piper's Causeway. Where's the Loot with the yellow sleeves and blue silks is coming up now and battling for the lead. Just in behind this group down at the rail, here's Sir Rocket. Sir Rocket all the way
He's
up
your
to
one.
now battle for command. Uncle Chili is just behind these runners. Down on the inside comes Cousin Richie as they go past the half-mile pole. It's Piper's Causeway on the outside and Sir Rocket with Where's the Loot just outside of that pair moving down the hill. Just in behind them, Private Gem is close up. On the outside, Idaho Once is only 2.5 lengths or so off the lead. Down on the inside comes Uncle Chili with Chrome Flash racing in between horses. It's another 2. Cousin Richie is now losing some ground. That group is followed by Catman Sue and Smiling Beast. They line up at the top of the stretch, and it's a wide open scramble.
Oh my
Piper's
God.
Causeway digging in. Down on the inside, Sir Rocket. Out in the center of the course, Private
Kick it in,
Gem
Private
is
Gem.
now finding his best ride. Has to get to Idaho Once, and
Kick
he's
it
done
in.
it. Private Gem and Umberto Rispoli streaking past them all to win it going away. Idaho Once was a very good second. It ended up being a photo for third.
We did it. There's a lot of
And
talk
it
for a
went to
favorite, but
Catman Sue in front of Smiling Beast.
we're not dead. Wait, did your dad's exacta hit? Who got
It
second?
did
there?
not. The 11 came second.
Oh, no.
Damn.
The 11 at 64-1, who was also in that February 2nd downhill turf effort that we talked about, where the 9 kind of made a lot of horses go wide. The 11 got a lot of trouble there, but I didn't play the 11 back because of the 4th place beaten 6th last time out earlier in March. That was a big effort from the 11, and I can tell you it is 64-1. It will show 60-1 on the screen, but it is 64-1.
Wow,
Jeez.
6 to 5 on Private Gem. Yikes.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, look,
That's
this
some
is
late
one
money.
of these. I mean, that
Ooh.
horse, Idaho One, you could look back, like go way back into the horse's form and find that there's some good races over the all weather in 2023 and 2024. Then moves to the dirt. Not great, mixed results, and then has that one race that JD just referenced, which, I mean, had some excuses, but I mean, was clearly not as good as Piper's Causeway and Chrome Flash in that race, and then came back and, you know, kind of a little bit of speed and then faded last out. I mean, that's a tough one to have. I don't know. It's a tough horse to have. Piper. Have you seen all of the cast members
Yes, I was like, please tell me you got the reference. I have seen it.
doing the impressions of Parker Post? I mean, it's so good. Are you guys watching White Lotus, guys?
Oh yeah, I gotta watch the newest episode though. I'm behind.
Oh my god, I'm living for 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, it's the finale, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's been so good. It really has. I heard
so
somebody
good.
say yesterday they didn't love this season. I forget the reason they gave, but I was like, I don't know.
Not a
Like,
valid
I
one.
think it's the best season.
Second season, best so far.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I don't know.
I think so.
But I like this season better than the first season. The first season, I think, is the worst one. I mean, they're all great. But
Speaking of season, So my guy Kevin, if he's I don't know if he's watching right now. He's got a baby girl that he's he's taking care of, and I know that he was playing Dubai in the morning, so I don't know if he made it a whole day thing. But if you're still watching, we have this we think the funniest thing in the world is SCN, like Sizzin, so we just had a thing we say Sizzin, like we always say Sizzin. Like, is that still a thing that anyone writes or uses anymore, or is that done?
What are you talking about?
Season,
Like-
SCN.
Like season.
I've never seen anyone do that.
You've never
Yeah, you
seen
have.
it?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
What do you
It's out
mean?
there. It exists.
JD?
Yes, I mean I did a podcast for a couple years where that was used very often, and I think it still is used on that podcast. Shout out to Louis Rabeau. Louis Rabeau loves Sizzin, but he pronounces it Sizzin.
I just have.
So he would call it Derby Sizzin right now.
That's right.
It's the funniest thing in the world that became like mainstream. I don't know. Apparently
It's
not
just-
mainstream because Alexa didn't hear about it.
No. I'm so like in my own little world. It could be mainstream, and I wouldn't know, so it's fine.
Oh my god! I see Jackson laughing in the green room. All right, JD, we're gonna let you go in a moment. We'll bring Jackson in. We appreciate you taking the time to do this with us. Do you want to go over one last time before you go? Unless you want, do you want to stay with us? It's gonna be a crowded room. Do you want to stay?
I'm happy to stay if I'm allowed to. I might have to go and get another beer at some point, and I obviously need to send some vodka someplace and some good vodka someplace at a certain point in this podcast. So
why don't you? How about this? Why don't you go get beer now while we let Jackson in, and then just come back when you got your beer.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's a Dan Tordjman joint. We're going to be on here for race 11 because you decide so. So I got to make sure I get another beer in me to be prepared for race 11.
I'd hit the bathroom too if I were you. So yeah, we'll bring you back in a moment. Go get your beer, load up, refresh. We're gonna bring Jackson in a second. All right, JD, we'll see you in a minute. All right, Jackson, what's up? Welcome in.
Yeah.
What up, guys? How we doing? Do we all have that trifecta right there?
Huh?
Come
The super
on.
No 11.
500.
Yo, 11. It's okay. I waited all day for that race to bet the 4-horse. I was so patient, and the horse ran. I think he got last. So that's how it goes sometimes.
Uncle Chili really was
Wait.
chilly, wasn't he?
Were you single to that horse? Did you only use that horse?
Yeah, I played a turf pick 3 with single that horse because I think the last 2 turf races you can get some prices. So I was hoping to get that one home single, but didn't work out. That's how it's gonna go sometimes.
You just didn't listen to your boy Ryan at all.
No, that was my top pick.
No, I hated that
Didn't
10,
wanna
and he
listen.
proved me completely wrong. So whatever.
What's now? I mean, you guys, our viewers are going to be seeing a lot more of you, but the dynamic between you two, do you guys like almost like disagree all the time because you have to disagree, or do you find yourself agreeing more than
Usually what happens is I put my picks out there and then Ryan sees them and just copies them and tries to claim them as his own. So
that
that's
is
usually how it
that is
goes,
never the case. It just so happens that sometimes I agree with Jackson, but if I ever agree with him, that means I'm copying his picks. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. But yeah, we spend so much time with each other that I think it's just natural that we have opposite picks in all the races at this point because we know we know how we know how we handicap the races. So when I was like, oh, okay, I bet Jackson likes this 4, so I'm gonna toss the 4. I like the 2 now, like something like that, and it's got to just be that at this point.
We spend too much time together.
Yes.
What is the best call either of you've either made on your show?
I think both of them actually came on our other show, Pacific Horse Players. Mine being, I forget, what is it? Tequila.
You had a Calbred horse that blew up.
Yeah, it was the Calbred horse that blew up the toad at Santa Anita. Tequila and something.
Salt.
No, that's good though. Tequila and salt's not bad.
No, tequila and
Whiskey, gin, and brandy. Whiskey, gin, and brandy was the horse's name, not tequila.
Alcohol
Whiskey, gin, and it's alcohol related.
tequila and salt though.
Yes, that is a drink, but
No,
we're talking about a horse.
a horse. I feel like I've done
Tequila
horse.
therapy? Tequila therapy? Or tequila in therapy? That's the
There's
Doug
another
O'Neill
Calbred
runner that
out
this
here
guy
right now.
likes.
Yeah, for
This
Doug
guy
O'Neill, I
likes
think.
that. Yeah, for Doug.
Yeah.
I'm googling it. I feel like I've bet tequila and salt at some point. Honestly,
Jackson,
it's my favorite drink, so maybe that's the problem.
Jackson, you blew up the tote not too many weeks ago with a tout on Pacific Horse Players of one of your top
there was
picks,
one at
so.
Gulfstream.
It was 2 points lower than my top pick, though, so I still have the best long shot given out.
That part's debatable.
Go look up the results, dog. You got the DRF account. Go look it up.
Wait, what were the odds? Yeah, what do you remember the odds to have been?
Oh, I just know mine was 2 points higher. I want to say mine was somewhere in the.
That's not true.
It is. It was somewhere in the realm of 42 to 1.
What is the name? What is the name of Todd Pletcher's assistant I was training for a week or two? Because that's who was training my horse at the time. Do we remember? Do we know his name?
Off the top of my head, no. When was
No,
this?
I don't.
This was the weekend of the 22nd, I believe. I'll find it. This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Great.
We're gonna find it.
It's great that we just completely again just sidetracks this conversation. This, by the way, you're watching is the Santa Anita Derby show. There's 18 minutes until the Santa Anita Derby. Journalism, by the way, the one horse is your 3 to 5 favorite. I mean, I would not touch Journalism with a 10-foot pole right now. Like, no chance. He might win this race. I mean, we'll see how the odds are going to change, right? I mean, he's not going off at 3 to 5. I don't think he's going off at 3 to 5. Wouldn't touch him. Barnes 3 to 1. I kind of like right now, but I think I'm the only Barnes person in the room, or at least I was until Jackson came in. Jackson, are you a Barnes person?
I think Baffert's going to win this race. I think it's probably going to be Citizen Bowl, though. It's whoever makes the lead. How about that?
Okay. Well, I think Barnes is actually. It makes sense for them to send Barnes and have Citizen Bowl sit just off to give him a target to try to run down. Just to try to see if he can do that. But I don't know. And then you've got Baeza at 17 to 1. We tried making a case for that horse. I mean, Jackson, you can make a case for that horse or no?
I don't know if today's his day. I do like the horse overall. I think he's pretty talented. I think he has what it takes. He's improving. He's in the right barn where he can continue to take steps forward. Just again with him, I don't know if he's going to get the right setup. I mean, it just feels like one of these Bafferts is going to get an uncontested lead. Mm-hmm. I don't think journalism's fast enough to contest. I don't think Westwood is, he's 45 to 1. I don't think he's fast enough to just be the rabbit in here. So I won't be surprised if Baeza runs well. I think he could possibly run second, maybe split up the trifecta a little bit, but I have a tough time seeing him finding the winner's circle in this race.
Steven says it's time to put your money where your mouth is. So, Alexa, are you ready to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I have, and I want to say that my top selection just won both of the last 2 races. I feel disappointed in my pick 3 ticket because if it wins, it's going to make $2. Like, it's going to pay $18 for your.
Is that all it's paying? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for a $1 bet, it will pay frozen computer. It was like $36 something. So yeah. And because my top selection won both races, I wish I would have gone skinnier, on those first legs, taken some of those out so that I could have actually made real money on here. I mean, I'll make $2. That's a pack of gum.
I think you're in lifesaver gummies territory.
You really have glass full kind of person. What it's not is some decent tequila for Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm drinking vodka.
Oh,
it's not even.
Which tequila and salt is a horse that has been running recently that I have bet on. Running at Fairgrounds this year.
Good. That's good to know.
Wait, did you find? You said, Alexa, did you find that horse? You said
yeah.
What was the horse's name?
Tequila and Salt.
So confirmed. Tequila and Salt is the horse. Okay, cool.
Who ran like a couple of weeks ago at Fairgrounds, and then in January at Fairgrounds, and has not won. So it's not a horse you should necessarily bet, but it is a horse.
C Money knows what's up. ROI is the name of the game.
Money, you're right.
James, did the Derby go off? No, it's going off in 15 minutes. It's the race on your screen right now. And you've got 5 horses to consider. 1, journalism, 3 to 5. 2, Citizen Bull at 5-2. Your second choice, the 3, Westwood, who we all agree has no shot, so we'll probably hit the board at 40-1. The
Yep.
4, Barnes, is 3-1, and the 5, Baeza, 17-1.
What we should do is play like a $10 straight try. Let's just squeeze value out of this race somehow.
Well, let's do that, and then let's also play the prediction
Super.
game because we're so close to the Kentucky Derby. I just want to know at this moment, and it's hard, right? We need to see the post positions. We need to see how the fields ultimately shake out. I know. There's a million different things to consider. I just want to know kind of who you're feeling. Who is your Derby horse that you're kind of feeling right now? But let's play your game first. $10 straight trifecta. Who are you doing?
I'm going. God, 1, 4, 2.
Wow,
Maybe
the confidence.
It just sucks. Right? Okay, but it's $10 straight. So like if it hits, you're gonna win. You're gonna make money. So yeah, 1, 4, 2. I think I could go 1, 4, 5 to just try to get some like real money out of here. But no, I think it's 1, 4, 2.
1, 4, 2 from Melissa. Ryan.
Ooh, okay. I'll go 2, 1, 5.
Use.
Oh, did I copy you again?
Unbelievable. It's crazy.
You didn't even say your picks yet.
It's crazy.
You're copying me now.
It's crazy.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Yep, 2, 1, 5. 2, 1, 5.
Oh my God.
Wow, you guys are like total non-believers in Barnes.
Well,
in
my scenario where the 2 makes the lead, I just don't think Barnes is a horse that really wants to rate and pass everyone against horses of this caliber. I think the vibes are bad enough where if he doesn't make the lead, it feels like a horse where he's just not going to run at all. And that's why I would have tried to get him out of it, chuck him out of there completely.
First or last.
Yeah.
This is a hot take, but I can get behind
hit
it.
the board.
Wow.
Is he running backwards?
I can get behind this. My trifecta is 4, 2, 5. I think that journalism of all these horses, no matter who's in the Derby from this field, journalism will have the best finish, all things being equal, unless he gets, kind of shut off at the break or gets, has a horrid trip. I think journalism is the best horse in this field right now and in a month from now. But in this race, doesn't need the points, doesn't need to go hard. I think he's going to be sitting off of them. He exploded last out. I think that was sort of maximum effort from him. And I do think they're going to slow things down on the front end. Like, I think we're envisioning the same thing with the 2 Baffords being 1-2 all the way around, going slow enough where they run 1-2. I happen to think that Barnes is going to finish first, Citizen Bull second. And I think Baeza kind of finishes up to get third. So I don't hate that at all. So Steve Barnes absolute best from several a mile. Anything after a mile, you're holding. So yeah, so this is kind of this is sort of I think this is the consensus opinion of the panel here. I'm just hoping against hope. I mean, you should not listen to me. These other 3 people know a lot more than I do. Here we go. Another $10 trifecta. 4, 2, 3. So if you get the 3 in the mix, doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Doing pretty good.
If you like 4, 2, you could play it 4 over 2, 3 over 2, 3. You know what I mean? Like that'd still be crazy. Or you said the 5, you could play it 4, 2 over 3, 5. And then either way, if any of those long shots get third, you still make some good money there. Yeah. 4, 2 over 3, 5. But
all right,
nuts.
Let's play my game. Play my game. Jackson, Derby. Give me 3 horses who you think will finish in the top 5 in the Derby.
Okay. I think journalism's I think he's the best horse right now. He feels like a pretty safe one. Obviously, he's run the fastest never, so I'll throw him in there. I've been high on Tappan, or I guess it's Tapan Street now. All of a sudden, it's Tapan Street.
When did that happen, by the way?
I don't know. When the gates opened on Saturday, apparently. Announcing it like that. So who knew? He's just one I've been high on ever since his debut, really. So I would feel dumb if he ran well in the Derby and I didn't have him somewhere. And then third one, I guess Sovereignty, just because if I'm high on Tapan Street, then Sovereignty ran well too, and that was a race in the Florida Derby where he didn't need to run well. He was already in. It was kind of just a bridge to get him to Kentucky Derby, and he did what he needed to do, which was run well, don't exert too much, and just get him into a good pattern going into the first Saturday in May.
Okay, that's solid. So journalism, Tapan Street, and sovereignty.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Okay. JD, by the way, we'll give you a second. I don't know if you heard, we're playing a game now. 3 horses will finish in the top 5 of the Kentucky Derby. And we know there's a million different things that'll happen between now and then. But we'll give you a second to gather your thoughts because that's a lot and you just got back to your seat. Alexa, your 3 horses.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to agree with journalism. I want to add in Sandman, which I know is like one we're always cheering for with ABR since it's part of the Stake and Starter program with Griffin. But also, I just really feel like this horse is so impressive, and I think they kept him a little bit closer to the pace, right? In the Arkansas Derby.
Damn it. No, I mean they just.
Or
they
was
just
he all the
went-
way far?
He was out of it, but they just went
was-
obviously silly fast. So
Yeah,
so
I don't
he
know.
hit the front a little earlier than he might.
Right, he made a move a little bit sooner, so I like that for him. I know I don't usually want to play a horse in the Derby who's like trying to come from way out of the clouds with such a pack of horses, but I do like Sandman. I think he's shown that he can handle not getting his way and still performing well and overcoming that, which I really like. And then probably Tapan Street as well. So kind of similar picks with a little addition of Sandman.
Sandman. I like that. All right, Ryan.
All right. Well, Jackson's picks are really creative, so I'll just build on that one. I think journalism's the clear one. I think regardless of what happens today, I'd be surprised if he was anything more than second choice come the first Saturday in May. He just has all the abilities. So journalism's in there. My next one, I'm going to go Grande, who just ran second in the Wood Memorial. I think that he could fire a huge shot in the Kentucky Derby. Will be a good price in that race without a doubt. And let me think. Third, I'll go Cole Battle because the story would be cool. I think he's a good runner. He's kind of push button. He's handled some adversity already in his short career. And I mean, I don't know that at the end of the day, he's going to be good enough being out of Cole Front. Maybe the 10 furlongs isn't going to be, right in his wheelhouse, but I think he's the horse that is going to be fun to root for. So I'll take Cole Battle, I'll take Grande, and I'll take journalism in my top 5.
So tell viewers what the story is there because it's a good one.
Yeah, trainer Lonnie Briley. He's just it's the David versus the Goliath kind of story of the the Bob Bafferts and the Todd Pletchers and the Brad Coxes in the Kentucky Derby every year. This is it's the Eric Reed, Sonny Leone story all over again. Although Cole Battle has a hell of a lot more of a chance of winning than Rich Strike did, and Rich Strike pulled it out. So we've seen crazier things. So get Cole Battle in the gates the first Saturday in May, and let's see what happens.
Man, I watched that aerial view of Rich Strike again the other day. Incredible.
Yeah,
So
incredible.
watching him mow down 2 trainers who are all-time greats that don't have Derby wins, and watching that happen. Watching that race live, still can't imagine how they must have felt in that moment. But obviously, that was
the way he just moved through horses and just soared. I mean, he wasn't even running; he was just gliding. It was incredible.
Well, that's a decent point you bring up too about it takes a certain type of closer to do well in the Kentucky Derby. Horses maybe I need to rethink the sovereignty thing because he feels like one of those grindy one-run type horses that if they get stopped, they're in a lot of trouble. Whereas Rich Strike and even Mind That Bird and Giacomo, all these long shots that won the Derby.
Mystic Dan last year.
Yeah, they had to overcome trouble. They had to stop and start. They had to do these things that not all horses are able to do. So it does take a certain type of closer to navigate that kind of traffic in a 20-horse field.
To your point, though, Jackson, I mean, Sierra Leone is that type, and he was able to finish second by a nose. He was given a really great ride. He was just kind of kept in the clear. But Sovereignty, obviously massively talented. I just had to change my picks because you copied me by hearing what I said, before. So you definitely copied copy my picks on that
Are
one.
you guys sure you're not related?
We just spend way too much time with each other. We're on a StreamYard like offline 90% of the time with our buddy Noah, watching whatever races are running, whether it's like Ooga Booga Australia or the Cleveland Bluegrass Stakes. Like, we're watching it.
Oh, we got to get Ryan in here next time. People are, by the way, dropping in a bunch of different picks here. This is true. We should have mentioned this. This is a good part of the story, right? Barnes is named after Bob Baffert's assistant, Jimmy Barnes, $3.2 million, which we mentioned the purchase price earlier. And then a bunch of people sharing picks. A lot of, so, I mean, I agree with this, which we know, but I think it's just me and running down a dream. I think we're both running down a dream. But other than that, a lot of Citizen Bull here. And the one thing is Citizen Bull. I mean, if you like Citizen Bull, you think you were going to get him at 2-1? Like 2-1 is phenomenal for Citizen Bull, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. JD, you want to play the game? Oh, you're on mute, I think. Who are you? Do you mute yourself?
Yeah, I'm muted myself.
Ah.
I knew what I was about to say, and I just tried to stop myself because nobody has named the winner of the 2025 Kentucky Derby. Luxor Cafe is going to win the Kentucky Derby.
God.
I've been making this happen, Dan.
Year, another Japanese horse. No more.
I think Francisco de Ina is still running the 2021 Preakness, but that's when this started, and I've got to continue to pick Japanese horses until they do it because they're dominant everywhere else in the world, and they're dominant against us in certain places in the Breeders' Cup. It's just going to happen in Louisville one of these days. Other than that,
Lawson has the only appropriate response.
Yeah, fair enough. I knew I was very much going to be the contrarian there. So yeah, I'm very much journalism beyond that, and I do like Coal Battle quite a bit as well, running style wise. I think journalism. It's going to be very interesting to see what journalism does today. I want to see if we see any new tactics, or if this is going to be kind of the same thing that we saw last time out. That I saw in person in the San Felipe. But I do like journalism in the spot. And Dan, at the end of the day, with our degrees, don't we have to root for journalism? Somebody has to.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. I am. It made me feel good to hear Frank Miramati call journalism's name as he crossed the finish line in San Felipe. The way he said it with like such pride and like, yeah, journalism. But I actually, this is crazy. So obviously, I'm gonna root. I'm rooting for Sandman. Like, there's this whole story. If you don't know it, Google Sandman, America's Best Racing, Griffin Johnson. A lot of reasons we're gonna be rooting for Sandman. But at this very moment, I'd like a horse to win the Kentucky Derby with some degree of confidence, and that horse is Publisher. Like, I mean, I think horse took a massive step forward in the Arkansas Derby. Sandman had obviously has all the bottom in the world, all the seasoning in the world, and it's running like a madman. Obviously, the tap it all throughout the stretch. Publisher's a horse who, with one more step forward, is, I think, right there with the top of this, with the very best of this crop. I agree. Journalism, right there. What happened to the horse who won the Holy Bull? I'm like blanking on his name. Anybody?
Burnham Square. He runs in the Bluegrass on Tuesday. I love that horse in the Bluegrass. And
good. Okay, good.
How he runs there.
Yeah, I want to see that horse run again because he did he run in the Fountain of Youth? He did, right? He finished third or fourth.
Oh, he did.
No?
Sorry, yeah, he did. He didn't run in the Florida Derby. I got him confused. Yes, he did run in the Fountain of Youth.
I don't know. Has that horse topped out? I mean, does anybody have a feeling on that one?
Burnham Square's got 30 points.
How many?
30.
Okay.
I think he fired.
Placing.
Okay.
I think he fires a huge shot on Tuesday.
I mean, I feel like speaking of the running style, I think he has the running style of, like, unless he's drawn like, 18, 19, 20, I think he should be in the mix there. He should be, mid-pack or sort of closer to the front and have an opportunity. So I would put him in like a trifecta, but I mean, Publisher, guys, don't sleep on Publisher. Like,
I don't hate that at all. I picked him on our last two shows underneath. Did not pick him on top, but picked him underneath on our last two shows covering the Arkansas Derby and I think is it the Rebel Stakes that's the one that precedes it. He has a lot of talent, and he's kind of putting it all together. I feel like part of the reason is his jockey, Flavien Prat, in his last two have been two of his best runs, and I don't think Pratt's going to be on Publisher on that first Saturday in May. So it's going to depend who the jockey is. He could still get a guy. Well, no, Rosario is going to be on Tistastic. So I guess it's going to depend. Maybe it's Keith, but I think Pratt had a lot to do with, he moves his horses up so much. I don't disagree with you, though. I think Publisher is coming along really, really well. He looks like he might be like one start shy of, firing that A+ effort. So I don't disagree with you, though. I think he's kind of the, that horse that obviously he's still a maiden, but he has enough points to get into the Derby, and he's coming along really nicely.
All right. And just like that, they're in the gate for the Santa Anita Derby, guys. Enjoy.
And they're off in the Santa Anita Derby. And a very even break. Citizen Bull is flashing his natural speed, but he's got company immediately from Westwood. And Journalism backs off the top pair. Barnes will come from off.
Go Westwood.
Westwood got there.
Is at the back of the field. So it is the long shot Westwood.
I hope he
wins. We'll rabbit out of a hat.
I hope he wins.
I hope so too.
I hope outside now, and we'll run in the 2-path to the 6.
Barnes sort of like
Journalism is down
kind of
at
blew
the
the
rail,
turn.
joined by
I did.
Barnes takes third. As they move toward the backstretch,
Fly,
I don't like Barnes anymore.
22.5
covers the field, and it
Fly.
Westwood on even terms with Citizen Bull. They race together as one. 2.5 more lengths back to Barnes in third. Baeza is inching forward. He's getting into the race right away. And there goes Baeza after Citizen
Wow,
Bull.
what are these fractions?
The 5/8 pole.
25 to the half
at
after
the rail.
22 and 2.
Extremely compact field. There's a half-mile left to go in the Santa Anita Derby. And it's the 2-year-old champ, Citizen Bull, and Martin Garcia just in front. Westwood is now backing out of it. Baeza running a big race. He's clearly in second.
Baeza.
Journalism is hard ridden at the back of the field.
Oh, he's moving
and
down. Journalism is moving.
Barnes. They're coming to the quarter
coming,
pole. And Citizen Bulls.
Come on, Baeza. Come on, Baeza.
Alongside the challenge. And
I think Journalism still wins this.
Come on, Journalism.
I think so too. Come on, Baeza.
They're at the top of the stretch in the Santa Anita Derby.
Come on.
One
Do it for Puka.
Roll.
Do it for Puka.
Oh my God.
Do it for Puka.
And Journalism is kicking into high gear.
Good
Journalism
Lord.
and Baeza in a
Good Lord, what a
Derby
horse.
showdown. It is
on,
Journalism just in front of Baeza.
Oh,
What a race.
Journalism is the best in the West as he wins the Santa Anita Derby.
My God.
Baeza punched his ticket to Louisville. It was a long way
Baeza
back to
ran
Westwood.
massive.
I am taking Baeza in the Derby in my top 4. I'd like to amend my previous statement. Toss Grande, throw that horse in.
Look at even like Baeza ran a massive race.
That was huge.
What are points for second place with the point reduction, JD?
I think
37.5.
Not enough.
is that enough?
Ooh.
No.
It's not
Unless
enough.
they
not gonna
ship
be enough.
Keeneland and try to pick up something
And
that's
do the
next
Lexington?
to Lexington. I mean,
Do the Lexington? Oh, they
yeah,
already drew the Lexington.
oh, well, no, it's done.
So, dang.
That's too bad.
Oh,
Westwood getting
no.
third.
So hard.
Your Preakness winner, Baeza?
Wow, Westwood did get third. Could
Oh my
be.
God,
I
this
would love that.
trifecta.
So
Jeez.
this trifecta is wild. Baffert horses not.
So now what?
Even in it.
Wait, what just happened?
It just proved that Citizen
JJ
Bull can't
eased
win.
Barnes, by the way.
Yeah.
Saved him for the Pat Day Mile, where I will be betting him at 8-5 all day.
Okay,
Without a
that's
doubt.
one thing. That's one thing. Like you guys weren't even you weren't high on Barnes. A lot of people weren't high on Barnes. Citizen Bull just finished 4th behind Baeza and Westwood. Like
If he can't get the lead, he's not the same horse.
They just.
He had
Number one,
garden
Journalism
trips in
was
his last
first,
2
5
where he was
Baeza
just sitting on the
second,
front. And
3 Westwood
Jackson, you and I
third, 2
regrettably
Citizen.
picked that horse on top just because we couldn't see anybody going with him. You and I were in the exact same boat. I wasn't copying your picks. You weren't copying mine. It was just, it looked exactly like every other race Citizen Bull has run where he's going to get that easy lead. But way to go for, John Sheriff. Maybe Westwood was a filler just to get the field up to 5. But, I mean, that was huge. And obviously, that run by Journalism, wow.
Yeah, Westwood, obviously TJ Pereira was told, hey, get to the front and try to set it up for Beza. Obviously, some good stable play there. Same owner, same trainer. It's a little different than the Baffert situation, different owner, same trainer. That just said, like, TJ Pereira, like, I would love to see him get a chance in the Derby someday. He is one of the best dirt riders in the country, and he's just on a colony in Santa Anita. He does not get the top level horses, but he's just as talented as most of the jocks out there. But journalism, it didn't seem like journalism really liked the spot he was in, and it took a little bit to get going. As really in Frank in the call, it looked like journalism was in trouble at one point, and once he got out of that tight spot and found space, he was a different horse. But finding space in the Kentucky Derby, that's a little bit of a challenge.
So what this did was nothing. Like, this did not change the Derby leaderboard at all, because journalism was already in and no one else garnered enough points. So, like, if you're at another track, if you're waiting for your horse at Keeneland, or I guess Keeneland again next weekend, you're really happy that it kind of kept the leaderboard where it is and maybe made it a little bit easier to get your horse in. But
I think what we're seeing here, I don't want to totally dismiss Beza, because I think there's a good chance that Admires Daytona did not get sent from UAE, so that will open up a spot. And I do think that Beza, probably with 37.5, is probably sitting in that AE spot and can draw into the Derby.
JD, I would also add on to that. In those top 20 or top even 25, there's 5 or 6 that have the points, but they're going to opt for different spaces. Depending on how their horse comes out of certain races. I mean, one that comes to mind is kind of Owen Almighty in the Bluegrass. Depending on how he runs, he might be kind of a Pat Day Mile type of switch. There's some others that you could definitely throw into that conversation as well. So I'm with you. 38.5 is very borderline. He's going to need a lot of things to kind of go his way. But, man, would I love to see this son of Puka get into the Derby for the 3rd year in a row.
I can't wait to see her filly sell this year or next year, whenever it's going to be, and what she goes for. It's going to be wild.
Do we agree with this from Lawson?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Because I think go ahead.
That was
go for it.
A huge effort in journalism. I mean,
yeah. The future pool closed with journalism at 5-1 favorite, and obviously that closed well before this race in the Wood Memorial. But already going into this race, journalism, if you base it off of the future pool, was likely to be the favorite.
Do you know who the second choice was?
Citizen Bull was 8-1. Sovereignty was 9-1.
Okay. Wow. Because I was going to say, and I might just be completely just drinking my own whatever, but I think there's a chance, and maybe I'm underestimating it. Again, it's the Derby pool. I don't think anybody can really influence the Derby pool to the extent that it's going to determine favoritism, if it's like a 20-1 shot or a 10-1 shot. But I truly believe that Griffin Johnson is going to have a lot of people betting Sandman. I believe, and then that team in and of itself with West Point and John Green and the other Vinny Viola's there. I mean, but specifically, this is like an influencer with 15 million followers who's going to be telling all of them, bet my horse. So I don't know if all of them are going to listen, but I think Sandman is going to be way shorter than any of us are thinking. I'm thinking 5-1, 9-2 short.
I will say quickly, I'll talk from both sides of my mouth real quick, which I love doing, Dan. There was more money bet to win on journalism in this race than the entire Derby Future Poll 6. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean, look, I think if journalism is the overwhelming favorite, it's well deserved. I'm not questioning that. He's yeah.
He deserves to be the favorite. I don't think I would take him under 4-1, seeing it how he didn't seem to either. I don't know if it was he didn't like the cutback or the kickback being inside, or whether it was just the position he was in. But he really didn't get going until he got steered out into the clear. So that'd give me some cause for pause. But off talent and off of wins, he deserves to be the favorite.
JD has activated his burner account and entered the chat. Nicely done. Alexa, nicely done to you. 2 weeks in a row hitting the pick 3, although I know
Nice.
it's a little
It
shorter.
wasn't as big
Your
as a
top
payer
pick.
as last week, but it still made money. And Ryan, you're still alive in the pick 5.
I am to the 8-1 morning line single of Miss Roberts, who is currently 6-5, and your favorite in doubles and pick 3s.
All right, yeah, it's the end of this ticket here. 5 with 3, 5, 6, and then JD, you got actually you got 2 more races that you gave us, right? In your pick 3.
Yes, in the turf pick 3, but I do not have Miss Roberts, so I'm not gonna really. I want him to hit his pick 5. So
What the heck?
If one of us hits, one of us can be happy. So I'll root for you if you root for me, and we'll call it.
Yeah.
We'll call it a deal. There we go.
My turf pick 3 was rejected.
Wait, what?
Requested. How? It says requested bet amount is not allowed. What did I do?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's disappointing.
You can't
Sorry.
play it for $1,000.
I know. I was trying to hit it too hard, I guess.
you can only play it for 3. You have to hit it. You have to hit repeat if you want to hit it. Play it for more than 3 generally.
Wow.
Pops in the chat with 5-8 in the next race. Jackson, have you looked at the next couple of races? If you haven't,
Oh, yes, he
fine.
has.
Oh yeah, we're right.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
what do you got the next couple of races?
I love the 6 horse in the upcoming race. Thermal. She is 20-1 on the morning line. She will not even be half of that. It's a terrible morning line. She'll probably be like 5 or 6.
She's 20-1 right now.
Well, then I'll bet a lot of money on that one. Then I don't think she will, but we'll see.
Yeah, Thermal's my second choice. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Yeah, big fan of that one. The last race is impossible. I think they all look exactly the same. You can make a case for all 10 of them, but I think in the upcoming race, I'd make a pretty big push for Thermal.
All right. We will we'll see the odds here for the 11th race coming up in a second. We'll also see a replay. Let's just watch the replay, Santa Anita Derby. JD, I've changed, man. I am not sitting all the way through the last race. I have Little Caesars pizza waiting for me upstairs that I'm going to eat, and I'm very excited about that.
Pizza.
I could, of course, eat it while we're streaming, but I won't do
there's
that.
no rules.
Not to the rest of our guests here. How about this? Journalism again? I don't see him with the roses. Okay, a little bit of dissent.
Dan, you leave New York proper, and now that you're in New Jersey, you call Little Caesars Pizza. I mean, I want to unpack that a second.
So I don't like the actual pizza, but the stuffed crust, I just need it.
Okay.
Once a month. Like, I'm just like, you've been working hard, you deserve stuffed crust. And that's what I do.
But isn't it like Papa John's stuffed crust better?
Does Papa John's do stuffed crust?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta try that.
You gotta try
Papa
it.
John's is so like, is it like sweet? It's not really like it's like a sweet pizza.
No, it's
No?
very greasy.
Oh, because they have that like butter thing that they give you, right? No, butter.
They give you the garlic sauce.
Yeah, garlic.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So you're not required to dip in it.
And it's soybean oil. It's not butter, but yeah.
Wow. Soybean oil.
Soybean oil.
How about this for
JD, you
Jackson?
need to go like rock a trivia night. Because that's wild. Who knew?
I mean, it says it literally on the package, but okay, yeah.
Okay, but I'm the person whose favorite soda forever was Pib. And it's because it was a mystery. I just didn't know. It's like I couldn't tell what the flavor was. And then somebody told me it was cherry. And it ruined it. It's not my favorite. Like now that when I drink it, I'm like, oh, it's not. But it says it right on the can. I just never saw the cherry on the can.
You only like Pib because you're extra, Alexa. Let's be honest.
That's good.
Damn.
And that's a dad joke. Dan, I'm sorry.
Damn. So we did the game. We did the Derby game. Like, who do you think's gonna?
Oh, we have people who want to hear the interview.
It's too late. I mean, we know what they're saying. It's Mike McCarthy and Eclipse. They're like really happy and excited, and they're going to the Derby. Sorry, guys.
Nice sport code on Mike.
Yeah, we don't have any sound right now.
Look at that
Sorry,
purple
guys.
tie. That is a bold purple tie.
No, but I want I want to let people know like what each of you are doing leading up to the Derby, and then what your plans are for Derby Day. So, Alexa, what is your plan?
Yes. So I have a show with the Daily Racing Form every week on Friday for Sports Grid TV, where we are, preview the weekend races and also Derby previews. I think we're going to be doing a couple of specific Derby shows that week. So stay tuned, follow DRF on social media to look for that when we announce. And then I don't know yet if I'm going to the Derby. I haven't figured it out. I'm here in Kentucky, so I feel like it's going to call me there probably. But I'll probably find my way there with a hat,
Brian?
Jackson and myself, we're gonna have tons of shows going on over at the Gallop Out, so we'll have those going twice a week. We'll have Get Bucked typically earlier in the week, and then we have Big Hoof Energy that covers the New York racing. So we'll be doing those. We got to find out the schedule for this week because I'm on a flight out to Lexington Monday night. So I got to go. I'll do a full week out there, so I'll have fun. But we'll find out the schedule there, and then we're just going rapid pace. And then when I'm back from Keeneland, Jackson and I, we have something fun planned with you guys here at ABR that's going to be going once a week. So I'm very excited for that. But I mean, we're keeping it fast paced all the way up until after the Belmont Stakes Festival out at Saratoga. We're going to be going hot and heavy.
Love it. Jackson, I'm assuming that he copied your answer.
Yeah, he copied a lot of it. Unfortunately, I have to just echo everything he said. Also, catch me on the Money Media channel on YouTube, on Spotify. We'll be doing a ton of Derby stuff for that too. And outside chance, I'm going to my first Derby this year. Not 100% sure yet, but it's in the works. We'll see.
Oh, hopefully. Nice. That's awesome. That'd be really cool if that happened. Yeah. That's awesome. JD, what you up to?
I will be in Lexington next weekend at Keeneland, and then I will go into a hole to work for the Derby. And outside of Woodbine opening day on April 26th, so everybody get excited for Woodbine. And then whatever Woodbine shenanigans come my way, I will be doing that. But pretty low key and quiet these days, other than my home track of Woodbine, despite living like 4,000 miles away from it.
Fired up for Woodbine. I can't wait. I'm ready.
I didn't know you were a Woodbine guy, Jackson.
Love
big
Woodbine
guy.
Love
big Woodbine guy.
Oh, nice. We do a lot of Woodbine stuff, so
let's do it. Let's run it.
We'll talk. We do a lot of Woodbine, and JD is reliably our. I'm like, hey, we're doing some stuff with Woodbine. We're doing a show, and JD's like, did you know these 5,000 things are happening at Woodbine? I was like, I knew one of those things, so that counts. This is another hot take. Steve's been dropping the hot takes. He says Citizen Bull has 0 chance of winning the Kentucky Derby after watching that. I mean,
I agree.
Look, I don't have added confidence in him, but 0 chance? Or do we all think 0 chance?
I would say 0 chance. I'd say 0 chance.
Really?
A horse like Westwood.
I didn't feel like they were going to try to crank him today. I don't know if I am going to judge him completely off of this effort.
Maybe not, but I mean, he still had a decent. I mean, he got outfinished by Westwood, who set the pace through the first half, going 22-2, and then they went the half and they were right next to each other, and then he faded out of it. And I don't know. I think to me, it just proved. I mean, I will not be playing it. I wasn't going to play him whether or not he won this race or finished dead last. I wasn't going to play him in the Derby anywhere. I mean, no horse has 0 chance. We've seen crazier things, right. But he's not a horse I'm going to give a look to.
That
David,
one.
This is a good
for Citizen Bull. For who?
No, I'm just saying, rest up and go to Preakness.
I think he's saying it for Citizen Bull. I mean, there's no way you pass on the Derby, right?
I'm saying for me.
I'm resting up and I'm doing the same thing. I'm following the same training pattern, Alexa. I'm skipping the Derby. I'll be at Pimlico.
Jackson, they're out of their minds, right?
Here's what I'll say about Citizen Bull. Was that his 6th race today?
Yeah.
I think it was his 6th race. He's run 4 races where he's been handed the keys to the kingdom. Everything went perfect. He could not have complained about his trip at all. And he won all 4 of those races. And now twice he's had things 95% go his way. Just a tiny little bit of adversity. And both times he has not run well at all. And I'll tell you what, they don't let you have an easy lead in Kentucky ever. So I would be in the 0% chance camp as well.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to take a look at it. He's not high on my list right now, but I have to take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, he has won when everything has gone his way, right? He's inherited a nice, comfortable, easy lead most of the time. Hasn't been pressed. Hasn't been, and today we saw when things didn't go its way, it did not look good. And the second part of that post, which was kind of wild, which was when you think about it after the fact, which is who would believe if you told them that both Baffert horses were out of the money in a 5-horse field, finishing 4th and 5th. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Dude, anybody playing Keeneland tomorrow? I'm sitting here as like these endless storms continue to roll. Like my house is shaking from the rain right now.
I'm looking. A chance they don't run tomorrow with how bad it's been.
Yeah,
like, I heard
I'm trying to
pour again tonight, like really bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to handicap right now for Keeneland, and I'm trying to find workout videos where they're swimming in those exercise tubs because that's what it's going to be like when they race tomorrow. So I'm trying to see who has the best form in those pools.
That's a
JD. You said you were going to Lexington next week.
Yeah.
Oh, so you and Ryan should connect too, right? I mean, you're going to be there. That'd be awesome.
I'll be out there Tuesday to Sunday or Tuesday to Tuesday. I don't know.
All right,
I will be get out there.
Yeah, I'll be there Friday through Sunday. So yeah, we'll definitely have to find a way to run into each other for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Alexa can orchestrate it.
Help facilitate.
Yeah, facilitate, not orchestrate. Yeah, that's a better word.
Either way.
Jackson, your horse is 17-1. I'm gonna bet on this horse.
She'll be in front, so you'll get the cheer for at least a little bit. How about that?
And Ryan's 5, right? 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Jackson, do we have a $1 bet going today? What was the? We had one. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh, the last race. You picked the Mandela horse that has.
That's right, Man Among Men.
Citizen Bull in the Derby. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I didn't to close it all up. Your whiskey, gin, and brandy was 20-1, and my
I paid 42.
26-1. So.
There we go. All right.
Put a bow on things.
All right. Okay.
I like the 11 in here, by the way.
You like the 11?
Yeah.
All right. You like the 11. JD has 3, 6, 10. Ryan has 5.
11. I have 3, 6, 10, 11, and 11's my top
10,
pick.
11. Okay. Yeah. The 3, 6, 10, 11. That's right. My bad. Ryan, you had 5. Jackson has 6. So if you want to do something with all those horses, I'm speaking directly to my dad right now who's watching. You should box the 3, 5, 6, 10, and 11. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let me just pull this screen down for a second so we can all be on screen for a second, together for a second. Thank you all so much for taking time on a Saturday to spend the day with us. And I thought this was this delivered more than I expected. This was a meaningful Santa Anita Derby. It really shakes things up in my mind, I think, for the way most people are going to view the Kentucky Derby field. So anyway, I thought it was a great show. Thank you so much. We had thousands of people tuning in here, seeing the comments, seeing the numbers go up. Thank you all for tuning in, including that guy who told us that he was annoyed that we talked over the feed. Sorry. Sorry. Alexa, Ryan, Jackson, JD, thank you for making time on a Saturday. This was fun. We will do this soon, but for now, have a good night, everyone.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than America'sBestRacing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America'sBestRacing.net is a sport for you. It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than America'sBestRacing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America'sBestRacing.net is a